So guess what happened? No, the iPad did not run out of storage, but my dumb brain forgot to show the artwork of one book. Because I prattled on way too much. The original video was 17 minutes, and in 17 minutes I did not show the artwork of every book. I forgot one, I think. But there's also a bunch of things I forgot to mention, so first I'm going to do story time first, so I'll tell you guys when the actual comic haul starts. So I was originally just going to get 3 books, but because that was going to be 1 week's allowance, and I was for last week, so I just would have went next week. And I was fine with that. But then I decided, you know what? Because I want to make sure the book that's coming in on April 25th on Amazon, but it's a week late, so it'll be coming in next week from everywhere else, I want to make sure that's in when I go to Newbury Comics next. And I'll just go to the last week of April anyways, so I can get these books. Now, ironically enough, the first 4 were actually, the first 4 came in late. They're all from Amazon. And what was funny about that is that usually that happens the last day. It's late because it's Amazon. It's like 4, it was like almost 5 o'clock. So I was kind of happy that it happened the first day. The second day, today, the books came in at like 12:30, and I was going down to get the mail because the mail, when I had come in from USPS, the Amazon guy was at the bottom of the driveway. So the books came at the same time from Amazon and USPS, which has never happened. It's usually USPS first and then Amazon last, or vice versa. And usually like 2 hours ahead. Like Amazon will be like 2 o'clock and USPS will be 11 o'clock. And it hasn't happened in a long time, but 12 o'clock, let's just say. But without further ado, let's get into them. I think I mentioned that dimension, so hopefully I did. But first 2. And oh yeah, so we're minute 52. So minute 52, 152. All right. First 2. I'll do 2 minutes. How about that? All right. The first 2. Yep. First 2 is Gravediggers Union Volume 1 and Volume 2, both written by Wes Craig, but the artwork is not done by him. He does like the flashback, except for the flashback stuff. Like there's flashbacks. Is Volume 1? This is Volume 1. I was checking Volume 2, I think. Yeah, I was. Nope, never mind. He's a writer, but he also does a flashback art. Wes Craig does that. But the artist is Tony Cypress. Colorist is Nico Guerra, and then letters to Jared K. Fletcher. I'm not going to go over every single thing, spit it out. I'm not going to go over every single person who's written the book. Like, I'm not going to go through writer, artist, colorist, letter. I'm not going to do all that, because sometimes there's a lot of names. A good example is Prophet. There was like 5 writers, 5 artists, and it was like I didn't even say who it was. I said the main 2 guys were who Amazon credits them as Simon Roy and Brendan Graham, and I just showed the first page. So without further ado, before I forget, kind of reminds me of Hellboy, honestly, the more I look at it, and especially this here, or at least Mike Mignola. See. Yeah, Gravediggers Union. It seems like a zombie survival kind of thing. Supernatural, horror kind of comic. But yeah, it's an artist turned author, Wes Craig. Wes Craig is most well known, probably, at least for Image Comics, at least, as doing the artwork for Deadly Class, which I need to get on. I'll talk about that for a while. But Gravediggers Volume 1 collects 1 through 5, and what's really annoying is that Gravediggers Volume 2, the Gravediggers Union Volume 2 collects 5 through 9. No, sorry, 6 through 9. So 4 issues in the last volume. The reason why I'm annoyed about that is because of the fact that it's 9 issues. I wish I had gone to 10. I think so 1 more issue would have justified its $16.99 price. But I have 4 books at 4 issues, and let's say the book was $2.99, is $3. 3 times 4 is 12. So you're already paying more for the trade than you are for each individual issue. Because what Image Comics does, especially nowadays, because the average comic book price, the minimum comic book price is $3.99, unless you're Mark Millar and got away with $1.99, which that was awesome. But other than that, it's $3.99. So you do 4 times like 8, and a trade is like $16.99. You got to steal, get a trade instead to come to floppies. Part of the reason why I'm trying to get it back into trades, not floppies, is trying to tell that to myself. The reason why I didn't, I always knew that it's more cost effective to get a trade than get the individual issues. The reason why I didn't do that is because I was on so many series. So it was a it was guaranteed that I would be getting like 50 trades. I would be able to afford to get caught up on all my series. There's a bunch of trades coming out in 1 week. That's why. But anyways, let's continue. I showed the artwork. I told you what issues were collected. Volume 1 collects 1 through 5. Volume 2 collects 6 through 9. Yeah, it was $16.99 for Volume 2 and Volume 1 too. Because but Volume 1 should have been $10. I mean, I got a steal on it. You know, it's whatever. But oh, and Volume 2 was out of stock. It's out of stock now on Amazon. It's kind of funny. But it's still like it's in stock. But my dog just kicked the iPad. It's in stock on Amazon, but you have to wait a month for it. It's like one of those things where we don't have enough. I don't know how you would describe that, because it's not it's out of stock. It's just the fact that it takes a lot longer for the ship. I guess it's out of stock. Maybe they put. I think that's what happens. They put an order in, so they realize, oh, Gravediggers Union, we only have one more of that stock. So let's order like 50 more copies, and then they put in the request, and then it takes them a little while to get the books there. It must be what happens. But yeah, it wait like 2 months to get it. At least 1 month for it. It's like May 3rd to June 1st. So I was happy I got it when I did. Because that's another reason why I got that. I always want to get Gravediggers Union because it was another book technically that's also written by Wes Craig. But I wanted to get the ones that are written by Wes Craig. And drawn, obviously. I never pick up a book because it's drawn by this person. It's usually the writer. And yeah, artist sometimes too, but like never. It's always a writer for me. God Complex Dogma, written by Paul Jenkins, with artwork done by Brian Lee. Yep. No, sorry, it was created and designed by Brian Lee. It's L-I-E, so Brian Lee. And then artist is Hendry Prezietta. It's a weird name. Now, God Complex Dogma. This is technically, it is Volume 1, so God Complex Volume 1, God Complex Dogma Volume 1. But what's weird about it is that there's apparently a Volume 2, or there's another God Complex Dogma God Complex series. It's not Dogma, it's just God Complex series by Image Comics. It got pretty bad reviews. I'm not gonna get it, and if I want to get it, it's going to be $20 for the Kindle price, unless I want to purchase it from a third-party seller, which I'm probably not gonna do. But yeah, it was weird. That one's by Michael Avon Omen. Which I do kind of like, but it's artist, it's artwork at least. But I have to pass that one up by now. It's out of stock, so, and it's technically out of print, so kind of can't get it. Yeah, 1 through 6 here. I could, but I kind of don't want to get it. 1 through 6 were God Complex Dogma, and I'll do the artwork. It's a better page to show. Paul Jenkins is a writer I really enjoy. I really enjoyed his Wolverine origin. I've since reread from it was this past week. This past week, I read it. This past week's library haul. I had picked that up, and I got that. Let's go. I did 1 through 6. Paul Jenkins. Oh, and technically, there's more than one Paul Jenkins book by Image Comics, and they credit books. Because originally I was like, oh, okay, the other ones are like The Darkness, Witchblade, and other series that are out of print or that haven't come out with. I'm going to get Witchblade in the collected edition, the newer printings, not the older printings where and probably fall apart if anything like that. I do not want another I not want another Rising Stars Compendium in my hands where the book falls apart. That's what happened to the Rising Stars Compendium. That was an older trade, and the Darkness Compendiums are super old. I hear they're not super old. I hear they don't hold up as well as the newer compendiums do. Even the hardcover one, I've heard. So I'm like, okay, I won't get that. But there's also Paul Jenkins books. He had a Sidekicks book. And I was really annoyed to find that out because I was like, oh, I thought that was the only one I needed was God Complex Dogma, because everything else was Spawn or Witchblade or The Darkness. So I just wait till that came out in the next complete collection. That's why I'm collecting them. It's a complete collection. It's not compendiums because those are better and newer. Okay, next two we have is The Empty Zone by Jason Sean Alexander, who also does the artwork. I think there's another colorist here too, but I'm just gonna say it's Jason Sean Alexander. Yeah, Louis NCT does the colors. Now Empty Zone. Now Jason Sean Alexander is more well known for being the artist to actually he redefined Spawn. That's what they say on the Image Comics website when they're talking about him. but he also did the artwork for Philadelphia and Nita Hawes' Nightmare blog, both of which series I'm super far behind on. I'm gonna have to get used to that. If I'm not gonna get floppies, I have to get used to being a trade waiter. Which I don't like being a trade waiter. I'm super impatient as is. As you guys know, especially this video. Even this video, I just said like, oh, I won't get a plug in this third party seller, so they wait a little longer. Yeah, so Empty Zone Volume 1 collects 1 through 5, and guess what? It's a 2-volume series. And guess how much Volume 1 is? Oh, $9.99. Now, I had one of those moments, I was looking up books on my library catalog, and I was curious, has Jason Shawn Alexander written anything else that my library may have, so I can see how he is as a writer before reading this? Guess what came up? Both volumes of this series. I was pissed. I was like, damn it. But it was in the highest on Gmail, because in the highest is like, yeah, 50-50. And this was the other half that said, nope, not available. Actually, it was canceled. It didn't even go to any of the other libraries. It was just not available anywhere, which I was so happy to find out. Yeah, 2 volumes of this series. Mike Mignola and Brian K. Vaughan gave blurbs on it. Yeah, it's 1 through 5. And then I showed God Complex Dogma's artwork, so let's do the same for Empty Zone. And it's kind of a spoiler, but it's the first 2 pages, so it's not like a huge spoiler. I would define that as a mild spoiler, but not even that. Like, I mean, if you don't want to see anything of the book, you shouldn't be watching this video anyways, as is. Yes, and so The Empty Zone Volume 1, Conversations with the Dead, collects Empty Zone 1 through 5, written by Jason Shawn Alexander and drawn. Empty Zone Volume 2, Industrial Smile, collects 6 through 10. And again, you got the 2 blurbs from Mike Mignola and Brian K. Vaughan. There you go. Place on the ground. Then the final 3 we have is a series that I was going to get for Christmas. But I didn't have enough money. I had put too many. I have not put too much. I had other books in there, and I was like, I'm not going to sacrifice these books for Invisible. I said what it was. I'm not going to sacrifice these books for Invisible Republic. Because Invisible Republic, even though I was going by the same, it was the rules that I went by for criteria I went by for. Spit it out. Come on. What's the name? Come on. It was fantasy and authors I don't know, which. Gabriel Hardman, at the time, I did not know who he was. I did not recognize the name. And I'm glad that I did wait, because Gabriel Hardman did indeed write a book I had read before, which was Green Lantern Earth 1, which ironically, I was checking the DC Comics digital sales, and I came across that, and I saw Gabriel Hardman and Karina Benchko, and I was like, oh, that's pretty funny. And I really dug that Earth 1 series, so... I think I like this. It's the same genre too. Green Lantern. They should not have 2 guys named Green. Like, I know it always funny as they're both green. Green Arrow has green arrows, and Green Lantern is lantern is green. That's like so confusing sometimes. I will find myself saying Green Arrow when I mean Green Lantern. But no, Green Lantern Earth 1 was written by Gabriel Hardman and Karina Benchko. I really like that series. Do they even have a Green Arrow Earth 1? They should. And it's written by Joshua Williamson. No, it should be written by, because he started doing it ongoing. It should be written by these guys. How about that? No, Paul Jenkins. Let's do that. But yeah, I was going by fantasy too for my books for Christmas. But, and then I broke that world with Alex Posada, which is sci-fi, but that was only because I wanted to get everything that was available at least by Joshua Luna. And here's the artwork. I forgot to show the artwork in the first cut, but here's the artwork for Invisible Republic. Now, Invisible Republic Volume 1 collects 1 through 5, Invisible Republic. Volume 2, right? Yeah, Volume 2 collects 6 through 10. And Volume 3 collects 11 through 15. Now, originally I was not going to get, I was going to get just those 4 that you saw, or 5 that you saw. And I would have been happy with it, but there was that part of my brain I could just not shut off. It was like, kept telling myself, hey, you can wait until May, because I was going to get that from my grandmother for my birthday in May. I was like, dude, just wait till May. And I was like, there's so many other books that you have on your birthday list that you want more than Invisible Republic. So why are you like, oh no, I gotta get this book? I don't know why. I don't know if it was because I was kind of like, I could afford it, but and it was kind of like beneficial too, because it was all 1 day shipping. I think that's what happened. I thought volume 2 was going to be 2 day shipping, so I would do it tomorrow, but it was weird. It was on, so if you're not signed into Amazon, before like recently, they would say like they would give you a date, like a week. They would say a week is when it comes in, and they would give you like maybe or fast delivery. It always be off by a day or two. Not even a day or two, like sometimes 3 days. But now it's almost identical. Like they both say or fast delivery tomorrow. And I always thought that you had to be signed into Amazon Prime to know exactly when the fast delivery would be, because sometimes it was different. It was always different on if you're not signed in, if you are signed in, which I was always found kind of weird. But now it's complete. 15 minutes. I got my book anyways, so I got my book anyways. I really got my book, and I gotta eat lunch too. So I think that's it. I mentioned everything. If it's more public. Oh, and there's a book. There's another Image comic book written by Gabriel Hardman, but the library had it, and I'm gonna go by not only go by my Paulo Baron rule of not feeling need to get the other book that's pretty pricey. It's full price at least. I mean, but also the fact that it's out of print on Amazon. I had to pay $4 shipping if I wanted it in new condition, but it did show up. It was on Nahayas, and it was available. I checked it like an hour ago, and it said in transit, which is awesome. I cannot wait till that book comes in. Hopefully, it comes in next week. Along all the others, of course, but. And then Gravediggers Union, there's another book. There's another book written by Wes Craig. I don't own the Image Comics he did, right? But it's a widescreen book. And I hate, I'm not opposed to it, but I mean, like, on my shelf, I hate it. Widescreen Image Comics, because it's like terrible on my shelf. Do I have it on display on my shelf, like on the shelf, not like tucked in, like this? Like, is that, sorry, I think Jesus Christ, I stutter. My God. Like, I was about to have a stroke. I'm trying to say, like, I have the book stacked like this. Do I have to do the widescreen, have it on display almost like this? That's look terrible. So, I don't, and I'm pretty opposed to getting widescreen Image Comics. I mean, yeah, I have books that are smaller than others. Like, they are 6 inches. The average trade size seems to be 10 inches. And I'll have ones that are like 6 inches, but I want to say it's 8 inches, because 6 seems too small. Because that seems too small. But like, actually, something like this here, I'll show you. Like this right here, I have a book of this size. That's the same size as the Spidey book. That's Norway. This is only 6 inches. No, it was 6.5, I think, for the. I forget what it was, but I think it was 7 inches. But then, so it looks like this on my shelf. Like it's that, then it goes that. So that's fine. It fits on a shelf just fine. It's not too big and it's not too wide. It's whatever. And yeah, I have Habitat, which is also taller and wider than all the other trades, but it still fits on that shelf. It's not jutting out too much. And then when I get a widescreen book, it's this small, and it's that wide. So it's not like it's like so much smaller and wider than any book that I have on my shelf. It's like terrible. And it's gonna end the books that are on top of it like this are gonna go inwards like that, and I don't like that. I don't like that. I know, I'm so stuttery. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if I just get too excited to say what I'm trying to say next. I don't know if I'm trying to rush. I don't know what it's. I'm kind of trying to rush. I'm trying to get my books read. Yeah, I got a lot to read today because Iron Fist decided to be 25 issues and like 400 plus pages, so I have to read that. And I want to finish it by next week. And to finish it by next week, I read 4 Iron Fists per day. I'm gonna be all Iron Fisted out. I'm probably gonna give up, honestly. I'll probably either I'll read it, I'll keep it for this most recent time. It's just yeah, you guys know what I'm saying. I'll probably read 2 a day because all the other books I have to read 2 a day at the most. I'll probably just keep Iron Fist for an additional week, and I'll just read the 1 book I have. It's not the worst idea, honestly. I don't know. Because today, if I do 4, it won't be 13 books. I won't be on the 13th book at the end of the day. I don't think, at least. No, actually, I might be because I always because I'm on Iron Fist right now. So this is the end of the video. I'm just probably on right now, but I'm on Iron Fist right now. So but that's the only one I have to read 4 per day, and I think that's the only book I have to read more than 1 per day. So I'm like, oh no, these ones I read 1. No, I have to read 2 per day if I want to finish it by the time I go to the library next, or finish ahead of time at the very least. Well, I've read 4. I do like Iron Fist so far. Like I missed one of those times that I read it like 50,000 times, but never finished it. Like I want to finish it. I'm only finished like twice. And it was the 3rd time finishing it. I'm like, I feel a lot better than I did. I like it like as much as I did the 1st time and the 2nd time. 2nd time I didn't like it as much. All right, that's it. I'm paddling on. I'm like, what? 2:30 now? Yeah, 2:10. I gotta go. 20 minutes.